Hey there YouTube, this is MJ3 on Twitch channel. Giving you the last deck profile for deck week. It's my Fire Fist deck profile, of course. I really love this deck. Ever since I built this deck, I've just been wanting to constantly do a deck profile on it, just showing you guys like how much I've, kind of grown with it and everything. But I reframed myself. But I just really want to give you an updated one, especially before the ban list change, because I think it's going to be pretty epic. I'm not sure exactly what might happen. Hopefully Firefist won't get hit. I wouldn't think so. But yet again, there might be some stuff that could kind of hurt this deck. So we'll just get right into it. Let's start with the 3-axis engine. We have the 1 Spirit, which is your main card you really want to go for, like first turn a lot of the time, just where you can just do that 3-axis engine plus, which is like super fast and crazy for me. It's just I prefer that 3-axis engine over the 4-axis engine a lot of the time because it's just so many pluses in just like in 3 cards. I do proxy the 2 boosters. I just haven't had the time or the money really to go out and either trade or buy or however for the roosters, but hopefully soon enough I'll just get them. They've dropped down a couple dollars recently, so I'll probably get them in the next 2 weeks or so. Then after that, the triple leopard, which is absolutely needed at 3. Don't ever think you can play this deck without leopard or less than 3. Because it's not just a card just for the 3-axis engine. It's a card for any Fire Fist deck. Basically, you normal summon it, tribute it, say Fire Formation, spell, or trap, and it's so good that you can just do that. Not just that, you can actually normal summon it or flip summon it or whatever, put it on the field, use its effect, tribute some other Fire Fist monster to set one. So if there's a Fire Fist monster that's just become dead or Phoenix Chained or however, you can just go ahead and do that. So. For the 4-axis engine, I run the triple bear, of course. Please don't run anything less. Everyone should know what bear does. I run the double gorilla, awesome card. Double dragon, which some people just do the single, but I prefer the double because he's also a good search in my opinion. And then, of course, the 1 Wolfbark, which Wolfbark was pretty hard for me to get. I got a great price from a friend. Thanks, Felix, for that if you're watching this. So, yeah. And of course, the 2 swallows. I love swallows so much. And of course, go ahead and make all the jokes you want, whatever. I double swallow. But it's a great card. It's a great search. And whenever it's summoned, normal or special, you can set a Fire Formation trap. Usually, you want to go for like Tencent or you can even do Kaio, which is whatever. But also the big ticket item with this card is that your Fire Fist monsters cannot be targeted by card effects, and it's pretty much the same effect as Jinzo. As soon as he hits the field, you cannot. So basically compulse, trap hole, how if people are running that, I believe Black Horn of Heaven targets, Fiendish Chain, Shadow Spell, however, it all just kind of says no to it, so it's a great card. For the spells, I run a lot of spells. It's pretty much like, a good portion of my deck, but I believe they're all needed, some more than others, so let's just get right into them. The triple tanky, pretty much your search, triple Tensu. You don't need the triple in some games, but I prefer to have than have not. But basically gives the extra normal summon. 2 Gyokos, which yet again sometimes you need 3, sometimes you need 2. I go for the 2 because that's pretty much what my budget allows me. Basically stops your opponent's face downs. And of course, after all that, that's basically the core of it. I like to run the 2 Lance as, some good techs, because sometimes you can't always brain out Swallow when you really want it or really need it. Sometimes it gets negated, sometimes it gets Bottomless, which Bottomless is not target, sadly. So, it can still be hurt pretty badly. So Lance just kind of helps, fix a lot of those issues. Then, of course, I love to do the triple pod duality, mainly because there are times when you're going to kind of need to sit back and just relax and not go super balls hard at a player, which this deck is kind of meant for. But there are times when there's a plus by doing nothing, just activate pod duality, get your draw, do your search, do whatever. But you just can't special summon, which is still fine. You can still attack. But there are times when you're just like, I don't need to play every card in my hand just to do stuff. So, and of course, last but not least, Rekindling, which Rekindling is such an amazing card. I think people have finally just kind of recognized it for what it really is, especially Konami when they limited it. Basically, it helps recover your whole 3-axis engine. All the monsters are 200 or less defense, which is great, and it just yet again just reboots them. Like if you just need a quick reboot, just activate Rekindling mid of late game, get your spirit, get your leopard, or however, go for horse and just do some shenanigans. For the traps, of course, I run the one solemn, one torrential, one compulse, and one bottomless. The triple Tensen, double Kaio, and of course, Mirror Force. I did run Horn of Phantom Beast for a while, but it did not come out how I really wanted to. It's more of a weird tech if I'm playing a lower tiered player. It's just, if I'm playing a guy that wants to play my Fire Fist, but I know I just don't want to obliterate him too badly, I'll play this instead. So, for the extra deck, I run the one Lion Emperor because it's a good recycler for basically any Fire Fist, but it's also good because there are times when you're gonna kind of be like, you know what, I don't need Force, I just need to get that, I just need that bear back in my hand. So you just go for Leopard and let's say Rooster or even Spirit and just go for the overlay, and then of course or get bear back to your hand. Also, when you run out of horse princes, it's a good card just to kind of recycle horse prince back into your deck. So of course, when you like do rekindling, get horse prince back. The main recycler is, of course, Cardinal. A lot of people didn't like Cardinal at first, but yet again, he's such a good card. Basically, if you don't know what his effect is, he detaches 2 units, then he targets 2 cards on either side's field and or graveyard. So basically, you can choose 1 card on your side of the field and 1 card in your graveyard, or 2 and 2, or 2 or 2, sorry, and on both sides. So if you're going up against like a Dracosac, bounce the Dracosac, whatever, bounce maybe something back into from the graveyard back into your opponent's deck. It's a great card against Fire Kings because Garunix is always screwed over because of this card. Sylvan's yet again pretty much screwed. But it's a really good card. I really love it. It's one of the cards if I just really want to cock block someone, I would definitely do it, and it's just so awesome. After that, there's triple Tiger King, which I honestly don't use Tiger King all that much, just on the base fact that it's just sometimes it's just not needed or it's just over the top overpowering. But the times when I do need it or the times I do have to use him, he's just great, and I think it's best to use him at 3 because yet again you are going to be recycling a good portion of your stuff. So that's it for the Xyz. For the synchros, I run, of course, 2 horse prints. I mean, you could just run 1, but 2 I think is better than just 1 because you are going to recycle your 3s and you're going to recycle your spirit and so on and so forth. So you're going to want it. I don't think 3 is really necessary, but the 2 is just fine with me. I do like Celestial Wolf Lord Blue Sirius. If I mispronounce that, I'm sorry. It's a good card just to kind of sit on. He's a Beast Warrior, so of course he gets a lot of cool effects. And also, he's just a card that I just like to sit on for when my opponent destroys it. Then, of course, they lose 2,400, and then I can just boost off of that with Tencent or whatever. And last but not least is Kieran. A lot of people actually give a lot of shit to Kieran, and like saying like Kieran's just a trash card, it's rare that should never been printed, so on and so forth. But I say nay. Boar was my first favorite Fire Fist tuner. Then Spirit became my next because it's just so much faster. And you can still brain Boar, not Boar, but Kieran out pretty much with Swallow and Spirit. Because there are times when you're going to be pretty much use both of your horse princes, or it's not smart to use horse prince because of whatever reason. And then you can just go, you know what, I'm just going to get this and just go for Kieran. Because with Kieran's effect, if those that do not know, basically all your opponent's monsters lose 100 attack for each face-up fire, or each face-up spell or trap card on your side of the field, aka your fire formations. Not just that, when he's summoned, he can set any fire formation spell or trap. And of course, he's a 28 wall, so it's like, there's no real downside to him. The only thing I do not like about him is that he's not that easy to summon because of he's an 8. If he was a 7, I would love him a lot more. But, the extra level is what kind of kills him in my perspective. Alright, this is actually one deck I do some side decking with, so, and it's only 3 cards. The one side deck is Blaster. Dark Hole, and then Soul Charge. I guess you could also say I do side deck the 2 horns, but this is basically for lower players. I mean, if you're going to actually play this in a competition, just side deck these 3. That's all you really need, in my opinion. Soul Charge, if you just need extra stuff, basically take out Rekindling for Soul Charge, because it'll also help with your 4-axis and even Swallow. So, it still works. Dark Hole, when you just, because some decks are getting pretty easy to swarm, especially with Pendulum Summoning coming out soon. So you're probably going to want it. And of course, Blasters for the free pop and summon, and then, boom. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Please comment, like, subscribe. Tell me what you guys like. Also, description below, there'll be 2 links. One link to be Dual Jump on the Dual Jump Facebook page. Another will be me on Twitter. Please check both of them out. As always, thanks for watching.